Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer because today we're figuring out how to literally rewrite the script of your life. We're going to explore some absolutely mind-bending concepts, focusing specifically on how your own consciousness acts as a full-blown theater production company. You know, if you've ever felt completely stuck in a loop, just repeating the exact same scenes day after day, the source material we're looking at today offers a seriously amazing toolkit to just rewrite the whole thing.
So, think about this for a second. Are you the star of your life? Or are you just kind of reading someone else's script? It's a fair question, right? I mean, we so often feel like we're just extras in someone else's movie, getting tossed around by the economy or our bosses or just sheer bad luck. But what if, and stay with me here, what if you were actually the entire production studio behind your reality? What if every single event, every little interaction was actually being perfectly staged from within?
You've probably heard that famous Shakespeare line, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." Well, it turns out that theatrical metaphor is the absolute perfect key to unlocking the really deeply mystical and surprisingly practical philosophy we're unpacking today. It's not just a poetic way of looking at things. According to the text we're examining, it's a literal description of how reality actually functions. You're staging a play right now, and the outer world is simply projecting what you've already rehearsed in the dark of your own mind. Crazy, right? And I just found it so fascinating how the teacher behind these ideas, Neville Goddard, approached this whole concept. Operating mostly back in the 1940s and 50s, he didn't point to some distant deity in the sky. Instead, he mapped esoteric biblical concepts directly onto the human mind. He actually taught that human imagination itself is the creative power of the universe. And he broke down exactly how this creative power operates using a brilliant analogy.
Section 1. The Cast Introduction. Meet your inner production team.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that Goddard's four mighty ones aren't four separate spirit guides or external forces flying around. No, they are four distinct aspects of your own mind, working together to stage your reality. Neville equated these to the four letters of the ancient mystical name of God, YHWH, but he brought them right down to earth as four distinct psychological functions that you use every single day, mostly without even realizing it.
So, the crucial point here is understanding how each of these four roles, the producer, the author, the director, and the actor, collaborate to produce the play of your life. If you want to change your world, you can't just go around forcing the outside players to change their lines. It doesn't work. You have to go inside your own consciousness and rewrite the entire play from scratch. Let's break down exactly what each of these roles does.
First up, we have the producer. Now, the producer's sole job is to establish the core theme. They figure out the exact desire you want to manifest in your world. The producer doesn't worry about the how, they only care about the what. They just say, okay, this is the objective. We want to play about a major career promotion, or we want to play about vibrant health. It's that initial, powerful spark of desire.
Right, so once the theme is set, the author takes over. They take that abstract desire from the producer and write a very concrete mental scene. But here is the absolute secret sauce. The author writes a scene that implies your desire has already been fulfilled. If the producer wants a promotion, the author doesn't write a scene of you working super hard at your desk. No, the author writes a scene of your colleague shaking your hand and congratulating you on your brand new title. Then we've got the director, who's absolutely essential. Why? Because their job is to fiercely maintain your focus. When you close your eyes to imagine that new promotion, your mind is immediately going to start thinking about, I don't know what you're having for dinner, or that really annoying email you forgot to reply to. The director is your controlled attention. They're constantly pulling the focus right back to the script.
And you really see the difference here. Without the director's fierce attention, a wandering mind just completely forgets the new script and falls right back into old habits, effectively restaging your current, unsatisfying reality all over again. Directed attention forces the mind to rehearse the new scene over and over, as the text says, 70 times 7, until it feels completely authentic and totally natural.
And finally, taking center stage is the actor. This is your human imagination. The actor steps onto the stage of your mind to actually perform the scene the author wrote. Now, the actor doesn't just watch the scene from the audience like a movie. The actor gets right up on stage, feels the props, hears the dialogue, and emotionally lives the experience from the inside out.
Section 2. The Rehearsal. Staging your reality.
Goddard outlines a very specific step-by-step procedure to stage your reality. You don't just wing it, right? First, you define your goal. Second, you construct that short event implying fulfillment. Third, and honestly, this is where a lot of people get tripped up, you must immobilize the physical body. And fourth, you inwardly experience the action. Let's look a little closer at step 3, because it's a total game changer.
So step 3 is absolutely vital. You must close the door to your physical senses. Goddard calls this the soporific state, basically a state akin to sleep. You sit in a comfortable chair or just lie on your bed and relax until your body feels heavy and numb. You're essentially quieting the outside world so your inner production studio can completely take over. Your physical body is entirely asleep, completely numb, but your inner director, wide awake and fiercely attentive.
While you're rehearsing in this super relaxed state, you cannot just watch yourself on a movie screen. You've got to physically feel the actions and experience the scene in the first person. If your scene involves shaking a hand, you must literally feel the warmth and solidity of that imaginary hand in yours. You are collapsing time and space here. You're taking a future event that happens there and making it happen here and now in your imagination.
Section 3. The premiere. The curtain rises on reality. So when the inner performance finally feels completely natural and real, when it acquires what Goddard calls the tones of reality, well, the rehearsal is over. The curtain rises on your physical world, which absolutely must now perfectly reflect your mental play. The outer world is simply a mirror of your accepted inner scripts.
Take a look at this. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This brilliant quote totally captures the ultimate secret of the actor. It's just incredible to think about. You must generate the exact emotional and physical thrill of success before it ever actually happens physically. The feeling is the secret. It's that profound feeling of relief or joy or immense gratitude that signals to the universe that the play has already been successfully staged.
And here is the absolute best part. You don't ever need to worry about the mechanics of how it will happen. You really don't need to force things in the physical world. Your greater dimensional self, your higher consciousness, will seamlessly move all the outside players to match your new inner production. People, events, random circumstances, they'll all effortlessly shift to bring your rehearsed scenes straight into physical reality.
You now hold the entire toolkit to completely rewrite your existence. The producer, the author, the director, and the actor are all sitting right there inside your mind just waiting for your instructions. So look around at your life right now and ask yourself, what new play are you going to choose to produce tonight?